Last time on Square Roots, Yuna revisits the site of her greatest trauma only to discover that it's been turned into a tourist trap. Later, she solves a scene of civil unrest through thievery and murder. Typical late 20s.
What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I can't hear you. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you?
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa, and I'm joined by my good pals, Johnny. We called him Nooge last time.
I don't
Dang,
appreciate
Jim
getting
always comes up with these.
behind John in the order.
Finally, my
Just because
time
Jim's
is
not
here.
Johnny, time is here, Brandon, and Matt.
I'm Matt.
This is the show where we play your classic RPGs one chonker at a time. That's right, your classic RPGs. I'm not saying your favorite, because maybe they're your favorite, and maybe they're not. But we do break into your home, take your game library, and play through it.
We like to call ourselves the Revolver Ocelots of podcasts.
I thought we were going to call ourselves the Kindergartens from now on.
Damn it, I even said the joke wrong. I'm going to try it again. We like to call ourselves the Psychomantises of podcasts.
I don't understand either reference.
It's from Metal Gear Solid 1. He reads your memory card and then fucks with you about it. Oh, I see you've played a lot of Naked Waifu Simulator. That's your experience, right? We all have the same experience with that?
No, I haven't played that.
You've never played Metal Gear Solid, but you love a sneak 'em up.
I've never played Naked Waifu Simulator.
Oh.
Jim's not here.
Jim's not
Anyway, this week we're playing Final Fantasy X-2 because it is 2020, the year so twice. We named it twice, the year of sequels.
We're so far into this hell year that we had an argument about being able to play this game because I legitimately thought that we had already done the year of sequels. I thought that was over.
No, it's barely begun. We're not even halfway through it.
We're close to halfway through it.
But before we talk about Final Fantasy X-2, we like to do a little segment called Level Up. Matt, how did you level up?
Leveling up. I have two things to talk about. Listen, I'm working at home because of things that are happening in the world today. And I got a lot of time with my work and my tablet in front of me. So I'm saying I'm watching a lot of TV. Somebody posted some Star Trek The Next Generation outtakes in the Square Roots Facebook group for smart, cool, very attractive people. And watching them made me want to watch more Star Trek. And since I just watched Star Trek The Next Generation twice in the last, year, I finally decided to start a show that I've been meaning to start for a while. I've been watching DS9.
You never ever watched a DS9 before?
Never watched it before. Had a pretty good idea of what it was all about, and plenty of spoilers for later seasons. But I'm watching a Deep Space Nine, and it's really hitting right perfect the notes that I wanted after watching those TNG outtakes, which is just kind of mid-level Star Trek episodes. I watched the whole first season already, never dipped into Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1 lows. Hasn't jumped to Star Trek The Next Generation highs yet, but that's all right. I'm a few episodes into the second season, and it's already a pretty good run of episodes. I know that John has watched DS9, but it took him 10 years because he hated it. Vanessa, I've been meaning to ask you, have you watched Star Trek DS9?
Oh, yes, very much so.
Ooh, really?
In fact, I might even call it my favorite Star Trek.
What? You just like that
Is
floppy-haired doctor.
Oh, I do. Dr. Julian Bashir. He's got sweet floppy hair. He's a doctor. I can't say more about him because you're not far enough in the seasons.
That's fine by me. I know that John is all negativity. In fact, I keep saying that I think that the reason I had a big plan the last time I watched Star Trek The Next Generation to maybe carry on through and watch DS9 and even Voyager. And a few sources were so down on DS9 that I think I was like, I think I'm good. John, why do you hate Dr. Julian Bashir?
I don't hate Dr. Julian Bashir. I think he's a complicated character, but he is obviously, well, I don't know if he's gay for Garrick, but Garrick is very much obviously gay for him. And that's the way it was played by the actor, who I think is gay.
Mm-hmm.
Garrick,
Bashir is gay for O'Brien.
is he?
Kind of. They're like work wives.
Did Bashir get revealed at some point in this series to be like bi, maybe? I feel like I vaguely remember that being a thing. Or
Yeah,
hearing
that
about
was
it.
the last season.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I know that John hates O'Brien.
Yep, he sucks.
It's weird.
Why do you hate O'Brien?
Yeah, it's weird because I enjoy O'Brien. I liked him on Next Generation, and I think that it's good that they had somebody come over for DS9.
Look, I have a very reserved, nuanced opinion that he is a charisma suck who wastes the time of whatever episode you are watching.
Oh my god. O'Brien is like the Samwise Gamgee of DS9,
How
you know?
dare
He's just
you?
like
Yeah.
Don't you
a
sully
good,
Samwise's
solid,
name
Excellent.
nice hobbit.
with that boring, wife-hating dum-dum.
Perfect comparison. He loves his wife. All right. I'm glad that I managed to stir up some shit between you two. I hope that you fight about DS9 forever. Well, I'm watching it, and I just started the second season, and I'm super into it. I think that I'll probably tear through the whole goddamn thing in a month or two, and maybe even move my way onto Voyager, though probably by then I'll be tired of it. It's kind of like TNG. It's funny because when I was a kid, I hated these shows. They look so cheesy and crappy, but now as an adult, I'm like, that just looks like the 90s. Cheesy and crappy now is what CW looks like. I did have one other thing I wanted to talk about, though. I realized tonight that there are legitimately like 8 game shows that are either currently airing or about to start airing that I am super interested in. What's going on? Is this the year of the game show?
I don't even know where to start with that. What are the game shows that you're interested in?
All right, I'll start with the 3 that are currently airing. The first one is Millionaire. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is back. It's hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. The guests are all celebrities. They are playing for charity. It's it's airing live and just started a couple of weeks ago. So it's very much like a time of the Corona comeback of this show. But it's great. They have great celebrity guests on. They're funny. Jimmy Kimmel is funny. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Great game show. I've also been watching a game show called Hot Ones, the game show, where they make these poor people eat hotter and hotter chicken wings that are like...
Oh, not this one again.
Yeah, that are like crazy spicy.
Yeah,
and then they make
There's a
them answer
20-minute
questions.
segment on this a couple of months ago.
Okay, I won't go into it. I really enjoyed it.
We talked about the interviews, but not the game show, which is
Oh, you talked
less interesting than the interviews.
a bit about the game about the like that one guy who could eat more, like lots of hot ones and could have kept going.
That's the game show. That's the interviews that you're talking about. Well, regardless, I won't dive into it too deep. But it's a
Oh.
good show, and it is still airing, and I do enjoy it a lot. The game show is really great. There's also the Misery Index, which is hosted by Jamila from The Good Place. Jamila,
Yeah.
Jamila Jamil.
thank you. Where they like compare human miseries. It's pretty funny. And suddenly there's a game show with The Miz from WWE where he is where people have to do crazy water slides. There's a weird one coming out called, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a miniature golf game show. Holy Moly, I think is the name. There's one, these are all about to start. So
How
here's
could
the
that
deal.
be any better than Hole in One or Two from Price is Right?
I have no idea. It's not out yet, but it looks interesting. There's a crazy extreme tag show that's about to start that looks really good. It's weird. So, and legitimately, I haven't watched a game show in a decade, and suddenly there's like 10, well, other than the ones that I've mentioned early on here. So just in the last few months, it's crazy that there's like 8, 9 game shows that I'm super into. ABC is doing a summer of games and fun or something, and they're launching like 5 game shows. One of them's hosted by Adam Scott, who's a delight.
This is not my level up, but I want to share that I watched a documentary on YouTube called The Man Who Knew Too Much, and it's about The Price is Right, and this guy who spent decades memorizing all of the prices of every item on The Price is Right so he could cheat the system.
I remember hearing about that. Was it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What was it on?
And it's free. It's on YouTube.
Cool.
It's just called The Man Who Knew Too Much. And you might as well watch it. What else are you going to do?
I always liked the movie, the HBO movie about Letterman and... Oh no, this has got nothing to do with game shows. What am I talking about? Well, Matt got lost in his own level up, but that's what I wanted to talk about. TV. I watched a lot of DS9. There's a bunch of good game shows coming out. Let's talk about them, gang. Email us. We'll talk about it on the Facebook. Vanessa, how did you level up?
In addition to the documentary I watched several films. I watched a movie called Child's Play, parenthesis, 2019, and
What?
parenthesis.
Now, remember when I reviewed that last year? My review was it was good, but it would have been better without the murder doll because the rest of the movie was more interesting than the murder doll.
I think that's probably true. Yeah, it could have just been a normal drama.
And what's her face? She was really funny.
Yeah, she was good.
You know,
Plaza?
It could have been
Yeah.
like a sort of dramatic comedy about a mom and a kid and learning things about each other through drama. But it wasn't. It was about a murder doll. I thought it was kind of uneven. It started out being sort of a satisfying murders, like only people who were ethically corrupt were getting killed. And so you start to think, oh, maybe it's that kind of horror movie where
right.
people get their comeuppance, but then it just drops that entirely.
Yeah, I think right when it kills loving grandma.
Yeah, I was like, what? I thought this was a different sort of movie.
Yeah.
It's not about a serial killer, what is put into a doll. It's just about a doll, which I thought made it sort of less scary.
No voodoo, no moo-voo. Okay?
There is a Mark Hamill though.
There is a Mark Hamill, and I love Mark Hamill.
Oh, Mark Hamill. Can't say tour, can't say Mark Hamill.
That one I did on purpose.
I fucking would hope so, pal.
So,
Did Chucky sound like the Joker from Batman the Animated Series?
no, I would say not. I think that Mark Hamill is a fine enough voice actor that he can do multiple voices.
He can, but sometimes he shows up in other things as the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, and it's a bit much. Like, y'all remember Darksiders, right? Because the Joker's in that
No.
game.
He is?
It's Mark Hamill plays the demon that like assists you, and
No,
he just
that's
plays
the guy.
Joker.
That's the guy from that band. The one he was in Portal. It's like a heavy metal singer.
Nah,
that does-
Google that shit and prove
Wait.
me wrong, son.
Wait, which
It's
thing?
Definitely Mark
the dark
Hamill.
in the darkness?
Darksiders.
Oh, yes, you're right.
With War.
Yeah, sorry, I think of the darkness with the guy from the thing.
Then he showed up in CW's The Flash to play the Trickster and just played the Joker, and it was weird.
Well, that was sort of a thing,
I
don't you
know.
think?
That's a good point. It was an homage. It was still a bit much.
So I watched that. I watched a movie that I have never seen before called Stand By Me.
Really? The
Yeah,
Stephen
I'd never
King?
seen it. About the kids, young boys, coming of age kind of movie.
How did that hold up?
I thought it was better than I expected it to be. It was just sort of a hole in my cinema knowledge,
Mhm.
and it was surprisingly enjoyable for me.
It's always fun to plug those holes, isn't it?
It is fun to plug those holes. And I knew what it was about.
Just a couple of pluggers right here.
Yeah. Just plugging holes left and right.
That's
cool.
what the comic's about, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, those filthy hole pluggers.
What else did you watch, Vanessa?
Oh, there's more. I watched a noir movie called The Woman in the Window
That sounds
with
cool.
Ernest Borgnine, I think.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Was that
Borgnine.
true? I mean, I know that's a person, but now I'm worried that I made up that he was in the movie.
I was believing you.
It
can-
seems believable, right?
I
Does
can
he kind of
picture him
look
in
like-
my head, but
Does he
I
l-
cannot picture him in this movie.
Remember those mad balls? Ernest Borgnine's head's kind of like one of those.
What?
I did lie. It was Edward G. Robinson, not Ernest Borgnine.
No.
At least I knew I was wrong. Edward G. Robinson and Joan Bennett.
When I was like 5 years old and I would like wish upon a star outside my window, I would wish for mad balls.
Which one?
All of them. That was the wish. I'd wake up and I'd have every single one.
They are pretty amazing. I think my favorite.
That's a beautiful dream.
Yeah. You could have anything in the world. What would you have?
Yep. Hey man, I
All
was
the
like
mad balls.
too young to even like have a brain that worked properly.
Uh-huh.
The Mad Ball commercials that I saw on TV were enough. Would you wish for your birthday? All the toys. Vanessa, what else did you watch?
Let's see. I also watched
Can I see
a
the whole
movie
show?
called Black Klansman. It was real good, but it was difficult to watch, and I don't really feel qualified to discuss it, aside from the fact that the performances were good, and I liked it. So that's all I'll say about that. And finally, I watched a movie called Downton Abbey, the movie. It was awful.
Oh, good awful or bad awful?
I would say good awful. Like, it was very nice. It was nice to watch. It didn't upset me. It was not the news or anything that I had to think about. I didn't watch all of the seasons of Downton Abbey, so I was a little bit lost in a couple places. But it's about the King and Queen of England coming to stay one night at Downton Abbey. There's drama between the royal servants and the house servants. Mary doesn't know if she should keep the abbey or not. Daisy's engaged and potentially has cold feet. What else is going on? Carson comes back for just one night to Buttle. And there's also Edith is there. And not Matthew, he's dead. The other one.
Sounds
So
exactly
it's-
like a movie based on a television show. Way too much
Yeah, it's
shit to
the
know
whole
that you
gang.
don't know if you've not watched the show.
Yep. Everybody's there. And so Downton Abbey the movie. Why not?
Why not,
Well-
ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah. Why not? The costumes were great. If you like costumes, you'll like Downton Abbey the movie. Maybe. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Okay, Johnny, how did you level up?
Oh boy. How did I level up?
That's what I asked.
Thing one. What
You're
happens?
not going to have a lot of fun with this.
If
Johnny sent
you-
this to me, and it was like getting punched in the eyes by the 90s.
If you take
It was opposite Star Trek.
the year 1990, but infuse it as if by magic with music to make it a musical television series about
like Glee?
no, it's filmed in 1990 and is the most 1990 piece of media you will ever see outside of a Sega CD. It is incredible. It's called Shangri-La Plaza. Have you ever heard of this, Vanessa?
I have heard of it because you were talking about it,
Yeah.
but I was not in a position to click on it or look at it. So I am waiting to hear from you what it is.
Okay, so a musical comedy TV pilot. The show not picked up by networks for some reason.
Hang on.
Oh.
Here's thing one that you can have lots of fun with. John, why were you watching this?
Because I remembered that there was a TV. I was thinking about weird TV pilots that aired, like as TV specials. And this aired on CBS on July 30th in 1990. And little Johnny Brandon was sitting there watching TV and being like, wow, this is amazing. Okay, first of all, it's got all the stars. Vanessa, are you ready?
Yeah.
Melora Hardin.
Ooh.
Jan from The Office, which I know you have not watched.
I have not.
Chris Sarandon.
Hey. That's Susan Sarandon's brother.
Yep.
Wow.
Two-time Tony nominee Terrence Mann.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Carmen Lundy with a great... she's got the best voice in the show by far. But she's also relegated to singing sort of quasi-Motown style songs. And finally...
So you're saying it's racist.
Well, because the only other people of color sing rap in the show. So it definitely segregates things in a very strange way. Finally, Allison Mack as the precocious 8-year-old.
Whoa.
Of Mac and Me?
No.
Of
the
Alex-
secret life of Allison Mack?
Thank you.
No.
Vanessa, that's exactly what I was looking for.
You know exactly
so
what
not,
she did.
This is not a show about an Odo, is what you're saying.
You know exactly what happened to Allison Mack after this.
I do know.
I don't. Inform me.
You do. You just forgot.
Human slavery, a cult. She was arrested and convicted. Well, she pleaded guilty to it. This whole thing.
To sex trafficking.
Yep. Axiom. Anyway.
Smallville lady, Matt. Smallville
Axiom?
lady.
I never watched Smallville.
Anyway.
Well, neither did I, but I know who Allison Mack
Melora
is.
Hardin-
Jeez Louise.
You're right. I do remember the human trafficking star. That was fucking wild.
Melora Hardin plays a woman whose husband died, and she's very happy about that because she hated him.
Yeah, so let me just jump in here and say John sent this pilot to us via a YouTube link. I made it 5 minutes in. The credits were pretty fucking amazing. They were like animated.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of what's that show with Tim Allen? Home Improvement. Yeah, the beginning of Home Improvement, only much better.
It was like stop motion.
Yeah, there's some
much
like
better.
okay,
Except
there
Home
was
Improvement had like a
Pee-wee's.
catchy song, and
It
this had a
does.
shitty song sung by the whole cast.
This song has an amazing song sung by the whole cast. It's got Pee-wee's Playhouse style stop motion animation combined
Yeah.
with Home Improvement style graphics. Oh, it's you can't get more 1990s than that. It's amazing. So, Melora Hardin is a assertive woman who is glad that her husband's dead, but through I guess him dying, has got the rights to this donut shop in this mini mall. And she's planning on she's waiting there for her lawyers, but the mechanic who works there, both mechanics who work there, Chris Sarandon and Terrence Mann, fall in love with her immediately.
Ooh.
And
The show opens with those two characters working on a car and singing a song about how much one of them loves to fuck and the other one thinks he should wait until marriage. And
Yep.
let me tell you something. That as a plot device is very 1990. And it's not a plot device anywhere after that where anybody's like, should I fuck or should I get married first? Nobody ever questioned that again after the year 1990. The answer was you should fuck.
yeah.
I love to fuck. I love to marry. I love to fuck.
There's
I love
a
to
song
marry.
by
That
Carmen
was more of a
Lundy
rap.
about
Do
how
you love to fuck or do you
she
love to marry?
starts
You
she
can't
starts
do
telling
both.
Allison
You
Mack
can't do
about
both.
how the donuts are made at the donut store. And it's a very fun song. There's some great songs about cars
Well,
and women.
The
And
song that Vanessa was trying to sing.
I'm not trying to be a clown, but when I see her, I wanna get down.
The song that
No
Vanessa
time
is trying to make up
hesitate, no time
was,
for delay.
and I'm going to throw this bone to you,
Wanna
Vanessa. It's going to
fuck
help
her
you.
today.
It was Mercedes and Ladies rhyme for a reason.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not thinking scummy enough for this show.
Okay.
I watched, here's what I watched. All right, I watched the credits. I was like, cool credits. And then I watched this terrible rap between these two fucking mechanic brothers about Mercedes and ladies, rhyme for a reason. I like to get down. I like to win for marriage. It was terrible. And then this lady shows up. She gets out of her car with her daughter. The daughter is Alex Mack, the sex trafficker. And she gets out of the car with the sex trafficker, and she starts singing a song about how her husband is dead, but he was a piece of shit anyway, and she doesn't give a fuck.
Yep.
And the daughter is also like, I'm glad my dad's dead. He was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that's when I turned it off. I was like, that's enough.
Oh, no one will ever make a musical about you that says that, Matt. Don't worry. Your kids love you. You're a great dad. But
Jesus
anyway, this is
Christ.
on YouTube. You can
got
watch it for
dark.
yourself. It is fantastic. I can't believe this wasn't picked up
What's
for
the name again?
26 episodes. Shangri-La Plaza. It's honestly,
Shangri-La.
if you want to watch just a really cheesy opening credits, just watch the first minute. It's worth it for sure. And the other thing I watched was the Kimmy Schmidt just came out, Choose Your Own Adventure TV movie.
Ooh.
It
That
is
looks great.
fantastic. Thumbs up. I don't want to spoil anything. There's lots of choices you can make, and some are amazing. Actually,
Better
most
than
of them are.
Bandersnatch.
I never watched that.
It wasn't great.
It does have multiple.
Can you have the satisfaction of taking this character who always gets herself into predicaments by making foolish errors, just live a normal, happy life?
Yes, but that's a bad ending. It makes fun of you for doing that.
That sounds delightful.
It's really good. It's got one joke which which is optional and you may not actually get to, which turns it into like, you know how every Tina Fey thing has to have like a moment of weird conservatism where they make fun of like women or activists or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
she always goes for that ironic joke, and it never lands.
There's one joke about Time's Up that's not great. And that's
Oh,
all
they went
I
after
will...
that in Kimmy Schmidt like season 4, didn't they? It was
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, they did. But
Ladies these days just can't take a good raping.
I mean,
Jesus fucking Christ.
no. Well, you have to watch it to see
I'm
how
gone.
close
That's
Vanessa
it.
is
See
to
ya.
that joke. Oh boy. Yeah. So I don't know. Give it a shot. I think it's very good. Deliberately choose the worst choices you can make, or the most boring choices you can make, because usually those end up really funny.
Okay, that's
So
good advice.
yeah, and it's really easy to restart, and there are bad endings. Like you can get to the real end, but it's not great. So I haven't got the golden ending yet. There is a proper ending.
So how do you, since we're a serious tech podcast, how do you feel about this choose your own adventure Netflix gimmick that they're trying to do right now?
Oh, this is going to be the second time I mentioned Sega CD, but it does remind me of some of those
Really?
Sega CD experimental film things where you choose what happens. But these are much better done, and I mean, there's less choices. There's maybe 10 or 12 choices in the whole thing.
Oh, wow. That's not a lot.
No. Anyway,
I think it's great. Who doesn't love an interactive movie? Remember when that was going to be the video game huge craze and it never quite took off?
I
But
think it's a fun idea.
now we got like Heavy Rain and stuff,
If
and
it
they're
was
sort
like
of trying it.
If it was like a slasher or like I feel like there's better ways to do it than like comedy or like super fucking weird sci-fi. Like it's a fun idea. I think that would be fun to sit down and do with like your friends. And I don't know that Bandersnatch certainly was not that.
yeah, this is still fun. I'd recommend it. Just I think it's probably one of the best Kimmy Schmidt episodes out there. It's a really good episode. So sure, and I think that if it's done well or done like funny, even if it's done poorly, I think it can work well. Like I liked some of those Sega CD games. Usually the worst part of those was just like the bullshit gameplay mechanic that was really hard to do, that they had to bolt onto it to make it a game.
Yeah. That's why you're a big Dark Seed fan? Is that right?
I haven't played that yet, but I'm very excited about playing it
I'll
for
take
Scare
that, Jim.
Roots. Yeah, that's Jim's whole thing. Anyway, we're at half an hour. Let's get going into
Yeah,
the
We were
episode.
at 21 minutes when you started talking. No, I'm kidding.
John has a right to level up,
No, I'm
same
just
as
kidding.
anyone else.
I'm just kidding. We're 30 minutes because I went so goddamn long.
Should we text Jim and find out what he did this week?
No, he's a fart mouth. Fuck that guy.
That's true.
We do call Jim a fart a lot.
He is
I called him a fart the other day.
It's because he's the oldest.
He's
That's
the
true.
youngest.
Shush.
We're young and beautiful.
I'm not covering for your age, John. You're a fucking boomer.
I am not a boomer,
You can wear that millennial Sonic Go Fast shirt all you want. We all know
which
you're
I
a
am
boomer.
wearing.
You're a boomer. Vanessa is Gen X. I'm a millennial, and Jim is a Zoomer. That's the show.
Whatever.
Excuse me, it officially says on our review,
World needs me.
we are a bunch of 20-somethings ruining
That's
Fallout.
On the greatest review we ever received.
Yep. I give that
right.
review a 10 out of 10.
A bunch of 20-somethings talking about video games.
Hey, how come we're calling this season the quest log? We're calling it the Sphere Record and not Mission Time, like it is in the game.
Oh, well, let's call it Mission
Oh,
Time.
we should have called it Mission
still
Time.
It
change it.
should be Mission Time for sure.
Man.
I love the
folks-
fact that it's Mission Time and not like Mission Starts. Mission Time. We're going to talk about Brother so much in this episode that John might have a tough time listening to it afterwards. Sexually speaking. He might be too into it.
No, thank
Yeah.
you.
Laugh all you want,
Yeah.
pal. You're the one that added him to your fucking party.
Well,
Party.
'cause-
Party.
because people were bugging me about
Oh, yeah.
how hot I thought Brother is, even though he is.
So you added him to your
So I
party?
deleted Thane and then added him to my party just to see what that was like. And he's like fully animated with lots of dialogue. It is something else. 10 out of 10 would recommend adding Brother to your party.
Do his costumes change?
You know, I didn't try that. It didn't look like it because I had him as a dancer and he was dancing. So I'm curious if
But he was just brother.
but he was just Brother. So I think it might have like the skeletal system from like all the animations of the other classes. I'll have to check it out just to see if that's true.
No, his animations were way crazier. He attacked people with his butt.
That is true.
Mission Time.
Mission time!
Mission time.
Wow, wow, wow.
Since I'm going to
John's
be doing
bullshit
this,
Mission time corner.
What can I do for you?
so the Celsius, that is the hot rod ship that looks like one of those Ed What's-His-Face paintings. You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's the shitty fucking airship that we fly around in.
Yeah, you're on that.
Oh, like Ed Hardy.
Is
Yeah,
it Ed
it is
Hardy?
very Ed Hardy.
What am I thinking of? The guy who does like the designs of on like
Frank. Right? Frank? Anybody
Frank
can jump in here.
Miller.
No. Yes, I
I
know
don't
what you're
know.
talking about.
Everything looks like a tribal tattoo that a white guy would have gotten in the year 2002.
Yeah, for sure. Vanessa's got it for sure. I know a lot of guys with those tribal tattoos, by the way. And it's pretty funny, because I don't know anybody that doesn't want to cover it up.
It definitely speaks to a time, just like the tramp stamp.
I was thinking of Ed Big Daddy Roth is the hot rod artist that I was thinking of. That this ship.
Never
Is that
heard
the guy
of him.
that did the monster cars?
No, that's Frank Kozik.
You know what? We haven't even...
Anyway, I was just saying that this kind of reminds you of like hot rod designs from the 1950s, which is an important aside. So you get on the Celsius, and the gang is all super happy because they got everyone mad. They're like, "This was really great, Yuna. You made both the
Yeah.
Youthly and New Yevon angry.
Yeah.
You're so awesome."
Yes.
And Riku's
These
like,
people are bad influences. Their peer pressure is to... Yuna seems like a nice girl in the first game, and now she is out committing crimes.
Mhm. And whenever, so Riku and brother agree that they should just keep on being like mischief makers. And then Pain observes that whenever Riku and brother agree, bad stuff tends to happen. Also, I'd like to note, little buddy Shinra, whenever he walks, he squeaks like a Moogle.
Aw, is he a Moogle?
I don't know.
Is he a secret Moogle?
Because he does go like that.
I would be so happy if he was a secret Moogle. I'm not even joking.
That would be great. So this sphere is unfortunately just a regular movie sphere, but it's Titus with different shoulder pads. And he is looking at a weird mammoth monster machina. I say mammoth because it's got like mammoth tusks coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
But it's also large.
he says that he's just doing this because he wants to save Len. And
Yeah, and Yuna does not like that.
no, well, I mean, at first she's like, "Wait, who's Len?"
Mm-hmm.
But she'll come back to this. Then brother he freaks out, talks over the women, berates them, and says that he wants to get rid of the sphere because it's like bad luck or something. And everyone says, "Sure, fine, whatever." And then he also suggests, to make everyone feel better, Yuna should dance.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And Yuna agrees because she thinks it will be good exercise.
Mm-hmm. Now, there is a band that can help play and she can sing along to. How do you get this band to work with you, Vanessa?
It's great. You go down to the cabin level of the airship, and the band is hanging out there, and you ask them to play with you this evening. And they say, "Oh, sure. Can you please help us to the exit of this hallway?" And what they mean by that is, can you please push our sprites by running into them with your sprite into the elevator? And they just slide around on the floor. I don't know why they can't use their feet, but they refuse.
Mm-hmm.
You just shove them one by one into the elevator, and then up they go.
Later in this episode, they can turn into circles of butterflies, but apparently before that, they had to be shoved to their destination.
I don't quite understand what is happening here.
I don't either, because but that's this whole game.
I mean,
This whole game
why are we
is,
putting on a
let's
concert?
squeeze a fucking mini game in right here because we got nothing. We got nothing else. That is the game. The game is, here's a bunch of dumb mini games in this game you remember.
So, like, when they're putting together the design document to make the game, they're like, okay, how about we push the band members into an elevator for some reason? Great, that's great. Also, we'll look for them, but they appear in mysterious circles of butterflies. Yeah, that's in.
Anyway, let's not spend too long talking about pushing them into the elevator when what comes next is the real meat of the episode. It's fucking concert time.
Concert
Yuna puts on a concert.
time.
What is this? How does this affect our ruling on whether or not Yuna put on a concert? Now, at this point in the show, Jim's not here, so the dynamic has shifted to 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa, are you still on my side?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She shows us that she is not the level of performer
Legit.
that LeBlanc was. Her song this time is la 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 la.
Yep.
And does not have any words. She sort of like sways back and forth, but she doesn't really dance. And she is just singing the theme music to the game.
La 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 la. Yeah. What do you think this like in terms of being sung at by video game characters? Where does this rank?
Pretty low. I would say that it is one above being sung at by the Bard from The Bard's Tale.
But below the Nukkavee?
Definitely below Nukkabee, because that was not sung by the Bard.
What about the Sucks to Be You elves?
Oh.
Or bad luck to be you. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess I'd put them below Yuna as well. But I would put Liliana from Dragon Age above. Is her name Liliana? I don't remember.
Yeah,
You know
Liliana.
who I mean.
Yeah.
And who else has sung to us? I can't quite recall.
I thought we had a character sing to us in the last game, didn't we?
What was the last
we
game?
played? Final Fantasy VII.
Nope. There's no. Well, there's just choirs singing, and then before that, there was definitely no singing to us in
Was there singing
Star
to us in
Wars.
KOTOR 2? There may have been.
I don't think so.
Not like a to us.
Was there
No singing at all, as I recall.
Was there painful singing to us in what was that game? Yakuza?
I didn't play that
Yeah.
one. It's kind of crazy to think that we've done this show for 4 years, right?
And this is our 30th official mainline game.
And we've only played 30 fucking games?
And we played more than that outside of it.
That's true.
Come on.
Let's not go through every game that we have played to decide if
Okay,
they're
you're
singing
right.
it or
Sure.
not.
So this concert was not great. Yuna's performance was kind of terrible. And then she sort of sabotages the after party by she goes and sits off in a corner on the deck and starts screaming, "Who the heck is Len?" And then she goes,
context of that statement, John.
well, like we said before, not Titus wants to save Len. Yeah. Or Lean?
So they decided that in this game, Yuna should literally act like a fucking 4-year-old, basically. That's all she does.
Well, I
I
think
don't even know if she has any lines of dialogue that are like adult speech. I think that every line of dialogue is just something a 4-year-old would say.
I actually like this scene. I think it's like the whole mystery of it's pretty interesting that she's seeing these videos which sure look like her dead imaginary boyfriend, but he's talking about another woman. So yeah, of course you'd be like, because she's trying not, you can tell she's trying not to be that way, but she's getting mad about it. She's like, who's this girl? But also, it doesn't matter. And then she just goes to bed mad.
I like this because I feel like in the first game, Yuna was so focused on her mission that she didn't really allow herself to be a person. And this whole game is about her being herself outside of this role of summoner that was sort of put upon her by virtue of her genealogy.
So she gets... There's a really interesting cutscene here where her and Titus are running away from soldiers in, I think it looks like Bavel. And then they end up right next to that mammoth thing. And they are both in slow motion shot and killed together. This was quite a cutscene.
It was terrible. And she starts crying and she falls to the ground. And then it zooms in on her dead eyes and there's still a tear coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Awful.
Oh, but good storytelling. It's that good kind
Is
of
it?
mysterious. Yeah, I don't know, maybe this is only, I don't think there are absolute opinions on this.
Well,
I like this.
My point is, what's going on here? So she's seeing spheres that have recorded things that didn't actually happen?
I'm curious.
So
I don't know.
What the fuck are spheres?
I don't know if this is like a premonition or like an alternate timeline or what. I don't know where this is going. I hope maybe it goes nowhere and it's kind of a pointless cutscene, but so far it seems mysterious and interesting.
I think Titus is not going to fucking show up in this game. I could be wrong. But I don't think we'll ever, I don't think we'll see Titus again.
I do know the answer to
not
that,
other
and
than
I
the
will not
spheres.
tell you. I'm
Oh.
not going to... Well, someone ruined it for me.
I mean, you
Who
basically
was
just ruined
it?
for me because
It was like years ago.
Don't cry, Matt.
I just didn't want to know, and he ruined it. And brother orders you to give the sphere to someone.
Yeah,
You
well,
yelling.
he's freaked out about still having the sphere, and he's like, "Okay, either we give it to New Yevon or the Youth League. And Yuna's like, well, you're a leader. Why don't you decide? He's like, well, I decide to tell you to decide.
Classic bad leader, brother. Yeesh.
Pushing the emotional and mental labor onto the women who he wants to have sex with, even though
Mm-hmm.
she's her cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And
Brothers.
who all did you choose?
I chose the Youth League because they're progressive.
Mhm.
And also, I wanted to spend more time with Anuj. Look, last time I talked about his hair is terrible and he's too tall and beefy to be a Vanessa boyfriend, but I started thinking about those little silver glasses he wears and, sort of imagining if he cut off that dread and ponytail and maybe like went a little bit shorter on the hair that hangs to the side.
It's not a terrible haircut if you chop off the braid, the dread, and the ponytail.
Yes,
very,
and it
like,
would be
90s
pretty easy
emo.
to do that because
Yeah.
they're just all right there.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he
you
does
would
have
just take a
that,
pair of scissors to a man's head. You wouldn't even ask. They would just be
Yeah.
gone. And he'd
No.
be like, no, that was like a religious or cultural thing that was very important to me. And you'd be like, too late.
Yeah.
Sucker!
Mm-hmm.
Now there is the whatchamacallem, the bodysuit he's wearing, the sweater,
Yes.
the full bodied sweater
Yes.
with the a sexy zip down to his crotch.
Let me correct you there, John, and thank you so much for bringing this up because I was planning on doing the same thing.
Okay.
You're talking about his full red leather Eddie Murphy jumpsuit.
No, I think it's like a sweater like what Cloud
No, it
wears.
goes all the way down to his legs.
But I mean, it's
it's-
not leather. It looks like it's a knit.
That's not how I see it. I see it as like a poofy leather.
Vanessa,
One shoulder is all furry.
wh-
One
what-
shoulder is not all furry.
is he wearing like a full bodied sweater suit, or is he wearing leather?
I think it is more like a sweater. And
Huh.
as someone who has spent not zero time looking at men in sweaters on Tumblr, I approve.
It's weird to learn about Vanessa's kinks on the show, but I'm cool with
Put that down in your notebook.
it. Men in sweaters.
So you gave it to Youth League.
I did. I do suspect that Nuge is the villain of the game,
Mhm.
but I don't care.
I think you're right, and in fact, I kind of can't wait to punch him in his face.
I'm going to punch him so hard, his ponytail comes off.
I did get, when we get to the hot tub scene, I don't know if we're going to get to it this episode, but this game really did make me think, once again, this is a very good question Matt asked, who is this game for?
Who is this game
Right.
for? I mean,
Because
I
it
would like to. I would
feels,
go ahead.
it feels like it's for women to a certain extent because it has dress up and it's sort of cute and light and
Or
funny and
pop.
fun.
Pop focused, which tends
Yeah,
to
sort of pop focused and a little bit bubblegum, I would say.
Yes.
However, it has many, many upskirt shots, and then it has shit like that.
Yeah, that hot tub scene was something else. Although, I mean, like, it's kind of a...
all you can see is their eyes.
Well, no, yeah, and they're bikinis.
I didn't see any bikinis.
I have screenshots of bikinis. There's
I would need
lots.
to see these screenshots to know what you're talking about.
I definitely saw.
There are two ways to
a-
do this scene, I think.
Oh, the
Uh,
one they got out of their normal clothes and got into bikinis and were like comparing bodies and stuff.
Did
no,
not.
I didn't get that at all.
Did not get that.
What?
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 Now, all right, quick
What?
question. Quick question. Did you, either of you, go straight after them or did you go climb the mountain first?
I climbed the mountain.
I don't know.
I climbed the mountain too.
I don't think I climbed the mountain.
Weird. Why is Vanessa the odd man out here? It should be John.
I guess we'll get there when we get there. So,
yeah.
so what happens?
But there is the bit where people are running away from you and the camera just focuses on the bethonged bottom
Yep.
of a woman who is fleeing you.
Yeah, that's on Joe's Temple Road there.
Joe's?
Joe's.
Joe,
So what
Joe
happens
Scarfini,
if you
Joe
when you
Manicotti,
give
Joe...
Nuge the sphere?
If you give Nuge the sphere, he's happy to see you. He's a little bit surprised. You go to Youth League headquarters. Everyone is pretty welcoming. And he comes waltzing out and he's like, "Oh, hi, Summoner. Remember how you did take that sphere that we were trying to get?" And she says, "Yeah, I'm a sphere hunter now." And he goes, "Oh, well, that's different. That makes a lot more sense. In that case, I will happily accept your sphere from you, and thank you very much." I think he gives you a reward of some sort. I cannot remember
But he
what
does
it is.
tell you to forget, because he asks if you watch it and you say yes, and he's like, "Forget it."
Yeah. Whereas before he was talking about wanting to show the sphere to everyone because he wants people to have knowledge.
Then why is it changed? And
Nobody knows.
He doesn't want. He tells you that this is the Venga boys' gun, and everybody's coming. New York to San Francisco. The Venga bus gun is coming.
The Venga bus is coming. The Venga bus
The
is coming.
fucking Vegna gun. Now, we haven't seen it yet, but my assumption,
New York to San Francisco.
God damn it. What I leap to is that they're going to try and make a big old monster for you to fight, because that's a Final Fantasy X thing. It's pretty dumb of them.
Now, he doesn't know who the guy in the video was, because you ask him if he knows who that man was, and he's like, "Nope." But things are different if you give that sphere to New Yevon, where you give it to Barreleye, and he's very surprised that you gave it to him, and is very thankful. And he says, "Oh yeah, so that's a video of the Venga gun. It was built like 1,000 years ago to fight Sin, and it's being held by New Yevon under tight security, and he's worried that the Youth League wants to take it to control Spira, but New Yevon is taking steps to stop that." He also doesn't know who the guy in the video is.
Interesting. Well, we know from Final Fantasy X that Tidus was alive a very long time ago.
I don't know that we do know that from Final Fantasy X, actually. I believe that section of the game, the flashback, or the prologue, is Tidus inside the Dream of the Faith, and not Tidus back in the past. I think we determined that there is no time travel in Final Fantasy X.
Did we?
Yes.
I think that that's true, but I also think that the Faith dreamed of someone who did live.
Ooh.
Like if I had a dream about John Cusack. Like
wait, modern
2003 John
okay.
Cusack. No, it doesn't mean that he's time traveled.
That's a good point. You're right, Vanessa.
It just means that I'm having a dream about a young John Cusack.
I'd say younger.
All right, younger. Don't at me.
You then get interrupted from whoever you're meeting by an emergency signal from Buddy. Someone has broken into the Celsius. So you get up there.
What?
And the broken sphere from the Xanarkin ruins that you got is missing. But you do have a sphere they left, recorded themselves raiding the ship and stealing it and laughing at you. LeBlanc did it. She is a real meanie.
She's the fucking best. Can this game be about LeBlanc? Like, she's doing shit that's like
she's
cool.
getting it done.
She is getting it done. She's like, fuck you, I steal your identity and put on a concert. I fucking break onto your ship and steal your shit.
And you know what?
And then right
I'm
after this,
better singer than you'll ever be.
this fucking, she's got she's got her own goddamn syndicate. She's got her own organization. Also, her shirt is as far apart as a shirt can be and still be put in a video game. And she likes to lean into the camera. And I'm not going to lie to the two of you. Listen,
You did get erect.
you can't just shove boobs in my face like that and not make me like you. What am I supposed to do? It's crazy. Her outfit is nuts. Who is this game for? Me, apparently.
I guess
It's
so.
got, it's got jobs and tits. I guess that it's for me.
I do feel like from when we've had discussions about skills that our characters are learning that you have played the most of any of us.
I have learned a lot of skills. I think that I have fucked up and spent a lot more time like grinding around, dicking around doing nothing. Because I've got all the skills. I have them all.
I've almost maxed out one class each, but I don't think I've done that yet. I'm close to it. Anyway, so they decide that they are going to get it back. Because they are what? Fierce. And treasure hunters.
Fierce. They're so fierce.
Girl power, they're going to get it back in the name of honor. But to get there, they decide they're going to need 3
She
uniforms.
lives at a place called Chateau LeBlanc.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you could call your house Chateau Van Zandt.
That's a good point. Maybe I should.
Because I don't think it was always called that, because she just moved in there. It used to be like Seymour's house in Guadalajara.
Yeah, it was Seymour's house.
Is that why?
Maybe it's the house. Maybe the house corrupts people and turns them evil.
Yeah, it's got a ghost in it. Remember?
Ooh.
Ghosts lived in that house.
Ooh. Oh yeah, was it the ghost of the guy that was going to marry
Yeah.
Unaleska?
That's
Wasn't it the
right.
ghost of Unaleska?
No, she lived in Xanarkand.
Yeah, and she was not very nice. So,
Final
they'll
Fantasy X is dark, and I missed that game compared to this game.
So this gives you to the first real thrust of Chapter 2, which is that you need 3 uniforms. But before we do that, there's so much other garbage.
It's
so
true.
much other garbage.
I mean, quality content that you should not miss. Let's start with Luca. Do you know
You
Luca?
gotta do an interview, like a TV interview.
Yep.
It's so dumb.
Shelinda was like one of the ones helping out with the Crusaders fighting against Sin, I think. She was like a healer in the first game. And
Maybe.
now she is an interviewer with a very phallic microphone. It's like a big wiener in your face. And
So this is a game for me, too.
and she is talking about the different groups, the sort of political factions developing in Spira, the Machine Guild, LeBlanc Syndicate, Youth League, New Yevon, and then she starts interviewing good old Yuna. And she's like, so who is this mystery man in the that you're chasing? And Yuna's like, you can like either tell the truth or be a little secretive, or
Ooh.
there's a third option too. I told the truth. I was like, well, I don't know for sure, and I'm trying to find out.
I gotta say, it seems strange to me. Yuna is definitely famous, but no one seems to recognize Riku or acknowledge that she is one of famous Yuna's famous guardians.
You know, I think I've argued this before. I don't think that the Guardians were famous.
But there's all the statues of them.
Wait, what?
There's statues of Braska and all his companions, weren't there? Or is it? Oh no, it's just
Mhm.
the summoner. It was just a statue of Braska.
Are there statues
Oh.
of Tidus or Riku or any of these fucking people anywhere?
No.
Mm-mm.
I haven't even seen a statue of Yuna, and the Kilmari said that they were gonna make one with a big horn on its head.
Oh yeah, that'll be cute. So, did you tell the truth? Did you lie, or were you evasive to Shelinda? Either of you?
I told the truth.
Yeah,
just
I think.
because I wanted those sweet rewards.
Yeah, although I think if you don't tell the truth, I think you get it either way. But she does give you a garment grid or something you'd like. Unfortunately, Brother also crashes the interview and comes in and starts yelling random nonsense because he's maybe the worst written character ever. I don't even get, like, is he supposed to be funny?
I think he's supposed to be a creep.
Why are they giving him so much airtime in this game? Why is he
I don't
leading them?
know. I don't know.
Anyway, next stop, Kilika. You can talk to Dona and she's either happy or mad about who you supported by giving them the sphere, and either way, she blocks your way and doesn't let you in.
I had a question about this. In the last chapter, when I collected all those fucking monkeys, was I supposed to take them back to the lady before the chapter ended?
You know, I'm starting to think maybe we were supposed to do that because I didn't. Because she's not there now.
Well, you can't get in there now.
Yeah. Maybe next chapter.
Maybe. I like to think that you have 13 monkeys in your fucking pocket, though. Just like, what's up?
Or more. Next stop, Mushroom Road. Either you can fight the Youth League or not if you gave them the sphere. I didn't give them the sphere, so this whole time, like, children were running at me and I was killing them.
No, wow.
Felt kind of bad about that. And then at the end, well, before that, and in both playthroughs, you'll find Nuge. He's messing around with another sphere at that weird locked sphere door.
Uh-huh.
In your game, was Nuge happy to see you? Because in mine, he was real unhappy about seeing us.
He was kind of like, you shouldn't be here. And then we were like, ooh, what if we find the rest of those spheres? And he was like, okay, cool.
There's
That's
also
the literal dialogue from the game.
But there's
Word
some
for word.
back. Okay, at least in mine, Payne says that first of all, he's surprised to see the Yuna there, and then he's also surprised that Payne has become a treasure hunter, and he's not.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of sassy about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Riku talked some shit to Payne. Riku and Yuna talked some shit to Payne after he left about their apparent past, and Payne was like, she was sassy about it. This game should be called Final Fantasy X Part 2, lots of sassy ladies.
Well,
And that's why
Payne
Vanessa
says that when Riku starts bugging Payne about whether or not she has had a fling with Nuge, Payne is like, "You've just lost." Payne says that Riku has lost -4 respect points for badgering her about her relationship with Nuge. Riku is very upset by this, and I think Yuna's worried about losing respect points too. Vanessa, where are Matt, Jim, and I numerically? How many respect points do we have? Because Riku has 46.
I don't want
Okay.
the answer to this question because she's going to hurt my feelings.
Let's see. If Riku has... How many does Riku have?
46.
47.
Okay. Let's go with 328.
Is that all three of us combined?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's pretty good.
Can we leave it at that and not get the breakdown?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh.
And then he also makes fun of us for all becoming pirates. He says, "Oh, the calm comes, and suddenly Spear is full of kids playing pirates," he says sassily. What a jerk.
Hey, that's my new friend Nuge you're talking about.
So also I tried to get to the base of New Yevon, but Elma blocks the way. She's like, she was there last time and she was in Final Fantasy X. And you do have to beat the crap out of her, and then she runs away and destroys the elevator, so we can't follow her.
Wow.
What happens to you
Wow.
when you get to the base?
Nothing. They're just like, "What's up? We're busy." No, there's a cutscene,
Mhm.
right, Vanessa?
I didn't. do
Well,
it.
there's a cutscene. I think maybe you talk to Elma. You talk to somebody, and they ramble on about how they have to get to a meeting. And just like in the first chapter, when you come to the Youth League base, when you go up to the tent, they're like, "Nah, they're busy," and they just turn you away, which is cool, I guess. I mean, we have specifically told them, like, "Listen, we're not joining your fucking organization. Fuck your new religion and all your bullshit. We want nothing to do with it. We're just sphere hunters."
It's true.
You give the sphere back to the youth league, and people, or you give it to the youth league, and people are like, "Wow, the youth leaguers are like, wow, you're amazing," and everyone else is like, "Huh, guess you picked a side.
Yeah. So
Didn't know that Yuna was joining the youth league, huh?"
the next place that I went to is a little town called Xanarkand, because you know what? Monkeys need matchmaking.
This is the worst game I've ever played.
Now,
Monkeys.
you remember the monkeys from last time you were at the tourist trap, right?
Uh-huh. There were monkeys in love, and there were thieving monkeys.
Now, in this case, when you go there, one monkey of the 24 in the little complex is in love, and you have to pick up that monkey and then find their partner.
It has hearts above its head.
Mm-hmm.
And you
the
pick
one
its partner by finding the one whose name is the opposite of the name of the one you picked up. Or like
So they're-
opposite or complementary. 'Cause
yeah,
there's like summer and winter, but there's also like
Autumn and
arrow and quiver.
yeah, and then there's Max and Minor or Minnie, Max and Minnie.
There's peaks and valley.
Yep, there's Sky and Earth. It's
Sky and Earth.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
Or
How
Anyway, it's
romantic.
dumb.
or whatever.
And if you pick the wrong monkey, they steal money from you.
It's pretty good. So there's that mini game.
It is, listen, I'm not going to let you just brush by that. It is awful. And John told me I had to do it, and I did it. And it is just you running, there's no battles, so it's, at least there's that, but it is just you running back and forth in this map, this small map, for about an hour.
Yeah, I'd say it
Just
took me about
putting
half an hour
monkeys
to
together.
get all these monkeys together.
Just
And
slamming monkeys
so,
together.
the thing
Also,
that-
John could watch these monkeys have sex. John.
The real climax of it was that it
Climax.
that was on purpose.
Sure it was.
The screen fades to black, and then text appears on screen line by line.
Yes.
And it made me laugh so hard. Vanessa, I on the document I've highlighted the text on screen.
Okay.
Could you read it for
Shall
me?
I read it for our listeners? Absolutely. Just give me a moment here to get into the monkey mindset. Ahem, hem, hem. Ahem, hem, monkey. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah. I am a monkey. Ahem. Their world was veiled in darkness. But now, as monkey love blossoms and grows, a monkeyful future surely lies ahead. This is their home. They will protect it, now and always.
What the fuck?
Oh, that made me genuinely laugh. It's
John
great.
loves it when monkeys fuck.
Yep. Cut to Meehan High Road. Now here,
Mm-hmm.
Callie, who I do not remember at all from Final Fantasy X,
No.
is trying to figure out where the chocobos have all gone.
And she sets you on a wonderful quest. A quest.
So she wants you to go find a chocobo for her so she can do some experimenting, I guess. Not
No,
like
she wants to ride a chocobo.
yeah.
So she
So,
can do experimenting.
I thought it was she wasn't trying to figure out what happened to the chocobos. She just wants to
No,
No,
ride
she
one.
just
says
wants
that
to
there's
ride
a-
one.
Oh.
She says that there's a chocobo eating monster,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they're not around anymore.
Okay.
There's a great bit because Pain always stands with her back to whoever you're talking to
Yeah.
or to whatever action is going on.
Yeah.
And so
It's weird.
Callie's talking about how there are chocobos, and Riku's like, there are no more chocobos. And then, of course, one walks right by, and they all go one by one, Cho? 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 And
Yeah.
then Pain just goes, Cho? Like, what's happening? Because she is not paying attention because her back is to everyone.
That is pretty fantastic. So this leads to you going to find a chocobo for her. You follow that very chocobo, follow that bird, everyone says, and they are on a 88-minute adventure.
Yeah, it takes so long. The Meathead High Road is so long, and you have to travel the whole goddamn thing. Apparently, you can do it in 2 parts, but I did it in 3 parts because I'm bad at it.
Yeah, I think that strategy guide is just wrong because I don't think there's a way of doing it right.
Right? Because it just jumps over your head. What can
Yeah.
you do? You can't do anything. There's no buttons to press.
Yeah, so you have to first follow that bird, picking up its feathers, and then, like, trading in the feathers for a chest. I didn't get the achievement here, so I must have missed a feather somewhere. So there's an achievement you can get.
It tells you that Riku will direct you to the chocobo, and every direction she gives is wrong.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yep. Part 1, pick up chocobo feathers, tell Riku no, and at the end, get a chest.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2...
Part
which is
2
that?
is the block.
Pain-
That's the D-line blocking.
Yeah, Pain stays at one side of the area, and Riku runs to the other. And you have to try and block this chocobo from running by you, and it is literally impossible.
Oh, it's super easy. The chocobo looks in the direction it's going to go.
Yep.
Yeah, like a millimeter of a like a millisecond before it goes.
I think I got it wrong twice, maybe, but no, it's not that hard, Matt. Just use your eye brain.
But then it jumps over your head.
Eye brain. Yeah, that's fine. It's gonna jump. I don't think there's a way of doing it where it doesn't jump over your head. That's why I think the guide we're looking at was wrong. And what's step 3?
Vanessa, were you able to stop it?
I got to the very last bit and then it ran away.
Oh no.
Part 3 is you go to the next part of the Meathead High Road, and this time you just go and get on a hover.
Right,
car,
that's it. Yes, you do
then
get
you
on
just
a
chase
hover
it down.
car, and then you.
That's what I didn't do.
Yeah.
I tried to chase it on foot.
No, you need to go to get one of those hover cars, and then you can block it in, and then they give it to Callie.
Yeah.
Except that
you do have to turn around to do that, which legitimately is like it runs away in one direction and the game's like, get it, but you have to turn around and go the other way and talk to somebody.
Yeah, talk
like
to one of those
3
hover
times
people
to get him to do it. Of course it's fucking super stupid.
So, unfortunately, Callie is interrupted by a chocobo eater, like what we saw in the first game, that is attacking her. So everyone on the high road is like helping out, trying to distract the chocobo eater to give you 2 minutes to run down to the old road to intercept the monster and fight it. It is not a difficult fight, and then you have to remember to swing back to pick up Clasko, who's went to go help out Callie, as well as Callie and the chocobo to get them all on your ship for the next part to happen. Which is, Clasko has found his new calling. He wants to clear out the old monster arena, and there's an amazing cutscene of him just running across the Comlands to go to it. I don't know if it was funny on purpose or just me finding it really funny, but I love it.
It's definitely really silly, and then it cuts to you all running across the Highlands to chase him down.
Yep.
It just felt like the weirdest fucking thing.
It does seem like
it showed you
machinima.
where he was going, like, ooh, here's where he's going, so that you could chase him down. But then the game's just like, actually, here you go.
I don't mind, because that area takes 10 minutes to walk across.
Yeah, it really does.
So then you get to this old monster arena, and he wants to use it, but it's full of fiends. So you have to kill 5 fiends. This is kind of a mini game where each of the fiends looks, except for the one who is really the fiend, there's got like 15 or 16 copies around, except they're different species. And all of them are looking in the direction of the the real one, except that 2 or 3 of them are elementals, so you can't tell where they are looking.
So it's just like the triangulation game from Final Fantasy VII.
It really is. So then you find the real one and fight it. This gets really hard. Like there is a Queen Curl. Is that how you say it? The tiger thing with a tenny.
Mhm, the lightning kitty.
Yeah, and it has magic powerful enough even at my high level to kill me in like 1 or 2 hits. So
one of that thing I ran across a bunch of those. They just have an instant death attack.
no, they also have just like a hits everybody lightning attack too. That was what was
no.
attacked.
I didn't mean that they only had.
Yeah,
I'm saying that they had an instant death attack. It was a huge pain in the ass because it just could kill one of your characters, and then you got to stop and whatever the fuck you're doing, you're like, I gotta fucking get this person back up.
but these queen ones can like wipe out your party even at my fairly high level in 2 hits. So you have to make sure that
I didn't fight. I don't know what you're talking about.
that's what I thought was these white curls.
Maybe it was your high level that made you fight harder
Maybe.
monsters.
But I had to silence them or else they would party wipe me. That was the only way to survive that
I
battle.
was using Silence Samba a lot, so maybe I just got lucky and didn't realize it. A lot of them will use this oversoul thing, and I don't really know what the fuck it is, except for it seems to fucking quadruple their health and make them last forever.
It gives them like much better items to steal, gives you way more experience for fighting
It
them.
happened in Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
Did it?
Yep.
Weird.
So after you take care of the 5, you go back to class going like, oh, that's it, right? Right? Except you get there and he's like freaking out. Where's he? Is he knocked out or is he cowering in fear from a monster that's attacking him?
Cornered by a monster.
Yeah,
He's cornered by an elemental, and you have to fight it.
You go fight these elementals, and that's it. He then converts it. He's found his calling. He converts it into a chocobo ranch, where you can raise. There's a whole mini game I did not explore,
No.
other than he to get completion points for the chapter. He asked me to go catch one. I did go catch him a chocobo.
I did not. I do not care about completion points, and I do not care about raising chocobos. I mean, we just played Final Fantasy VII, in which I engaged with chocobo breeding not even once.
Well, I don't know. I got one at least, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I engage that anymore. There are way too many mini games to even think about. I am never going to 100% this game.
I still
is
haven't
insane.
even fucked with the Calm Lands amusement parks.
Oh, those mini games are bad.
Yeah, I played some.
You know, since we're in the Calm Lands, why don't you tell us about? So, what are these games?
These games are like carnival games that you can play with special tickets. The ones that I tried, there is betting on dogs, where you can bet on a dog, and it's essentially a dog race. There is Monsters in the Sky slots, where there are 3 rows of monsters, and they're all flying along, and you try to stop them so that 3 of a kind line up in a row.
Mm-hmm.
There is Lizard Run, where it's sort of like Frogger. You take control of this lizard and you're trying to get it across a highway of monsters, but you can't stop. Like, it's always going to go. So you have to like keep it going and try to get it to the end.
They're all real bad.
They're all really bad. Those
Sounds
are the
bad.
3 I played, and after that I was like, I do not want to play any more of these.
Yeah, I did. I think Sky Slots is the worst, but also that Frogger game controls like poopy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They're all really bad. And apparently, like another mini game linked to it is you can publicize whichever. There's 2 companies with the same games and they have the same locations. And there isn't anything actually built on the map. They didn't do that. It just switches to like a different screen for the mini games. But there's a chance you can be a promoter and then tell people all around Spira about the company. So you have a choice of things to tell them, and they'll either respond positively or negatively to it. I've been doing that for a while and still am level 1, so I don't know if I'm going to pursue this much longer.
I'm still trying to tell women about that guy who wants a wife.
Oh, you get a whole pull-down menu with both, where you can like tell you can also tell men about it, but none of the men are gay. So it says strangely he's not interested.
Huh.
But so
This
yeah,
game
I do
really
both. That everyone I
tiptoes the
meet.
line of, I'm very surprised there's no gay representation, and it actually is kind of insulting It's really out of turn for me to say that. But, like, look at Brother and, like, the flamboyant personality that he has. And it's kind of crazy that they also were like, but he totally wants to bang the main character.
Well, I'm glad he's not in our camp,
You
frankly.
think so? See, I was thinking about that, and I was like, but on the one hand, it's not good representation because he sucks.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it would be gay representation in a Final Fantasy game. Like, have they even had that now?
Oh.
Have they even done that yet?
Yeah. I mean, there's Mucky,
Who's Mucky?
the muscle bear who has sex with Cloud and then invites him to live with him on his ranch.
That's a good point, actually. I forgot about that. Wow, way to be, like, fucking dated Final Fantasy X. Even Final Fantasy VII had better representation than you do.
Yeah, I don't know if there's... I'm sure there are. I'd have to go through and think about it for a while. I think you do get hit on by characters in various cities, but 7's the one that really comes to mind.
There's Ignis in 15.
Is he gay?
Come on.
Oh,
Have you seen him?
I thought he was just preppy. So then next is... Oh, I should pull up the notes again. Boop.
Moonflow.
Oh, boy. How do you feel about selling tickets to a concert and making a small commission for each sale?
Yeah, I made like 3,000 gil.
I think I made 7,000 gil. Because so this is a mini game where you have to figure out how much a person is willing to pay, but not too much to sell 10 tickets. I looked up
I overpriced
this on a
one
guide.
person.
Do they just walk away?
They just said no and no thank you, and then after that you couldn't try and sell it to him again.
Right.
I fucked up and accidentally sold multiple tickets for 200 because I was trying to get through the dialogue.
No.
You know, it doesn't matter. Guadalajara's the place where you want to go if you want to go make money. I made 60,000 gil off of some bullshit.
Yeah, there's a guy who's got secrets to sell you. They aren't secrets for you, but also secret is who you could sell this information to, and they'll pay big money. So, but it'll give you a clue about who to sell it to, but then like money is taken off for every person you get it wrong. It's kind of interesting. I got it correct eventually, and got 70,000 gil.
Yeah, I followed the guide, and you can only do one person though, right?
Yeah, so
So
it
just
basically
random.
you could save your game and then try. There's one that's 100,000, so you could like reload over and over until you get the 100,000 one.
Oh, I just did the 60,000. I just got the one that I got. I was glad it was 60,000. I was like, hey, I got a lot of money now. There's fucking nothing to spend money on in this game. You don't buy weapons or fucking.
You can pay off
accessories, really.
Owaka's debt.
Yeah, you can pay off Owaka's debt, which the guy that I'm using keeps telling me, ooh, pay off Owaka's debt and you'll totes get a great shop at the end of the game. I'm like, for what? For like super good potions?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's it for Guadalajara. Then Thunder Plains mini games we all did, right?
No.
Right?
I did. You can describe the mini games if you want, but I did not do this. I looked at it, I tried it, and I was like, nah.
Well, one of the guys at the travel center asks if you can help calibrate these thunder lightning rod towers. And that involves doing one of 3 mini games.
Yeah, remember when I dodged 200 lightning bolts
I
in
do.
Final Fantasy X?
You keep talking about how much you love this game, but then you don't dodge 200 lightning bolts.
Yeah, but I did get upset when I went back to the Thunder Plains because it gave me like flashbacks. Flashbacks.
The games are all like press button icons, like controller button icons fall from the top and you have to hit the right buttons,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, there's
But
some of them fall from the top. Some of them just appear in random places. Some of them is like a memory game where they give you a pattern and you have to repeat it after.
It's pretty terrible. And there's like 20 of these. I did 2 and was like, never again.
There are 10, and I think I did 4 before saying, nope, it got too complicated. Too, like, when you started having to press buttons, multiple buttons at the same time and stuff, I just gave up.
Yeah. So after that, we head to Macalania Woods, and you have to
Holy
find the musicians
Macalania.
again.
Yay!
Why do we have to find these musicians again? They were just on our fucking ship.
I don't know, but it's the Hypello who's putting on, I guess, the concert that Tobley is doing. And so he's looking for musicians. First you find Byra the Eagle, and he says, oh, the rest of my gang. He tries, like, FaceTiming them with magic. Faith-timing them, maybe? And he says the rest are hiding in butterfly circles around the forest. And when you get them all back, it's pretty depressing. Byra's like, it'll be a brilliant finale for a doomed kind. Because sending all the faith away is killing the woods. Because the woods is like made of lost souls or something. So they're dying.
Yeah, they say very obscure things when you run into them.
They do. They do. Last but not least is Besaid, where Becklem, who is a new Yevon trainer for the Besaid, were they Aurochs?
Yeah.
He's a real dick, and he
I
thinks...
thought he was Youth League, not New Yevon.
He
Is
is
he?
Youth League.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he sucks.
This is the fucking worst.
Oh, yes, you're right, because he's a real dick about you being, like, a former summoner. And he's like...
He calls you a bad word that I do not feel comfortable repeating on this show. But it starts with a TW and ends with an AT.
What? He does?
I appreciate the cat meowing in the background.
The cat's like, what?
Doesn't he? He's like, you better do good in this, you fucking...
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either.
No, he doesn't. He says twaddle. It really hit me because I had to do this like 6 times. And he kept saying twat, like, after all, you're fucking twaddle. And I was like, did you just call me a... Right? Right? It was very close.
So
Yeah, he says there's no need for summoners anymore. And they're like, hey, whose calm do you think this is? And he's like, whatever.
This
What have you done
pissed-
for me lately?
This fucking pissed me off so hard. Why didn't I have an option to Captain Marvel this motherfucker and just beat his fucking ass? Because here's what happens.
Yeah,
this douchebag fucking Youth League dude is like, hey, you have to prove yourself to me, Yuna. I don't give a shit about your past accomplishments. You gotta prove yourself to me.
And so then you do, and he's like, yeah, whatever. You know, I don't even think you beat Sin. I have a hard time believing that. And then you're like, well, he's like, you must have done it with a lot of, like, yes, I did it with help. All my friends helped. I couldn't have done it without them. What's wrong with that?
Stupid
He's like,
piece of shit. What is
Yeah.
wrong with that? It's the worst goddamn catastrophe of your entire world history.
mhm.
Thanks. Sorry that she needed friends. What a piece
And,
of shit.
She says she'll
I
always hold
fucking
those moments
hate this guy.
and memories of it close to her heart. And he's like, ugh, must your kind always prattle on about your precious memories?
Twaddle.
Our kind?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I think he means summoners.
This guy, the more you talk about him, the more I'm reminded of people who are on the left but think that Biden is not, Biden's not far left enough, so they won't vote for him because they're against incremental change.
Prove to me that you're progressive enough by supporting the candidate that I prefer. That's what this is.
So
Big call out. Big fucking call out.
Yeah, we called you out.
Uniform 1.
No. You have to describe the mini game that he fucking puts us through, John. It's
Okay.
horrid.
Then you have to tell people to vote.
Okay. I'll do that. So
Whether they think that Biden is the perfect candidate or
I
not.
don't even go there. I'm
think
not.
that it's
part
illegal
of
for
that.
John to tell Americans to vote.
Yeah. I think people are very capable of voting for whoever they feel confident in.
You know, it turns out that they're not. So,
Yeah,
John,
we have proof.
yeah, John, explain this minigame to us.
So
Here's
this-
what happens. John's taking too long. Here's what happens. This dude's like, prove yourself to me, bro. And you're like, fuck you. And then what it does is it turns the game into a third-person shooter where you have to walk along a path and shoot monsters a certain number of times to make them die.
Now,
And you have to
the way you
target them
describe
with
it,
B first.
the way you describe it makes it sound like they put money into this, but they did not. It's the
No.
same maps, and there's no like extra graphics or controls. It still controls like it does, and it's super bad.
You have to and it gives you all these different kinds of bullets that you can switch between. And if you get attacked, your multiplier bar goes down, and then you can't get enough points. So you got to kill everything before it gets to you. And
It's
there's
not
bullets that-
the worst mini game. That's
it's the worst.
that's the Thunder Plains one. That one's the
Oh
worst.
no, that's right. I didn't even finish that one. You got me. But it's pretty fucking bad. I did it several times because there was like a garment grid on the line, I think, and I was like,
Yeah.
gotta have that. I
Yep.
don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I only use the 2 that I've been using the whole time.
Got to get those bonuses.
I guess.
So yeah, that's the Gunner's Gauntlet. So, Uniform
Yeah.
1.
I'm gonna need you to get through these 3 uniforms in about 7 minutes.
Okay, I can do that. Uniform 1 on the Josie
You
High
can
Road.
have lots of fun.
The syndicate you sneak up behind these syndicate ladies who are worried 'cause-
I have a reminder for our listeners. We're
You can have
getting
lots
these
of fun.
uniforms so we can sneak into LeBlanc's mansion.
yes.
We're getting these uniforms so that we can go to Hugh Hefner's house, basically, I think.
I think so, except Hugh Hefner's a lady.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, but, Huella Hefner.
hmm So, the syndicate ladies, who are called Femgoons in the game, which
They
I quite,
are!
which is made me laugh.
Femgoons. There's
Uh,
Femgoons and there's Dr. Goons. So I
They've
got
got-
bad news, ladies.
A very skin tight outfit
Fucking,
with a
pro
really.
woman game, I think? Ugh.
Possibly?
So their outfit is like a nice shade of like a maroon color, and they've got
pink.
these really. Is it pink? Okay, this pinky,
Pink on mine.
a dark pink, and they've got these lovely hats. It's covered in hearts, and they are missing. They've dropped a sphere, so you find that sphere. When you do, Logos approaches you.
The eyes
And-
are hearts, and they're the same heart that LeBlanc has tattooed between her
Mhm.
tits.
Oh, also, they're worried because if they fail LeBlanc, they might get the heal. This is repeated by the next set of uniform people. What do you think that means,
I think it means something sexy.
Vanessa?
I guess it also means something sexy?
All right. The sphere you find is Yuna's special sphere, the Flora Falal. I haven't actually done this one yet. I did the other two, but I didn't
I have. It turns you into like a flower woman.
Ooh.
I mean, you've seen the other two, so it looks like those, but it's all flower themed.
So Ormy and Logos show up. Ormy wants that sphere back. You're sassy to poor Ormy, and you fight the women, you fight Logos and Ormy, and then at the end of the fight, they run away with the lady in her underwear, which Vanessa alluded to earlier.
So you knock a woman's clothes off.
Damn right I do. With my piercing stare. Vanessa, how are your clothes doing?
They are still. Oh, I think you've
What
knocked
the
Matt's.
fuck just happened?
Yeah, John used piercing stare on Matt,
He
and
did.
it was very effective.
It was. I don't think it was effective how, it should have been effective. I don't think people are supposed to laugh at you. No, I'm kidding. I know you were making a joke. He's doing it again. Stop it.
So their clothes fly off, and you get one uniform. Uniform 2, you get a warning from Nahalda, who is she's like the head of the excavation in Bikanel Desert. So you go out there, and she's like, "There's something weird by the oasis." You go there, and
This takes fucking 10 seconds. It's hilariously short.
there is a sphere. Oh, you do see that little misogynist sidekick robot for a second. The one, the one I'm talking about, the spinner one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little drone.
Yeah, so you go investigate. There's a sphere there. It's the Machine Maw, which is Riku's special dress sphere. And then you fight Logos and the 2 Femgoons, because Logos just comes at you, and you grab a uniform from them. Once again, they fail at hurting you. Uniform 3.
I really have to pee.
Uniform 3 is our hot tub scene, as alluded to before.
Wow, wow, wow. Hot tubs. This is crazy.
So it sounds like we got a slightly different version of the scene. I'm very confused by this. You climb up first you can go at the base of Mount Gagazet. You can talk to Kimari. Oh, we should mention we saw those 2 kids he was looking for, but they told us not to tell Kimari about it. They were in the Comlands. He's missing 2 Ronso who wanted to see the world. And he says, oh, you can also Ronso-splain how Ronso should feel about the Guado to them one by one, which Vanessa is fully in favor of, because those primitives obviously don't know what to think.
Jonathan, Timothy, Chalamet, Brandon.
What?
That's John's middle name.
Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet. I love that picture of a duck.
I saw that too. That was great.
Anyway, so, okay, maybe Vanessa's not as pro Ronso splaining as I think she is.
I'm not.
Okay. But you still give them advice, didn't
that
you?
I just got says that HBO Max is going to have new Looney Tunes cartoons, you guys.
Okay.
Wow.
And then you can, he warns you that some LeBlanc Syndicate folk went up Mount Gagazet, so you can go up and follow them. You have the option of fighting them right away or climbing up the side of the mountain to get the drop on them.
Yeah, I climbed the side of the mountain. I went all the way up to the top until I got to a part where it was like too windy, and the girls were like, nah.
Then what'd you do?
Well, then I went back down the mountain and went to the hot tub, and they were already in the hot tub, and they were like up to their eyes in the hot tub, and they talked shit about LeBlanc, and then the Shield Boy shows up, and Riku yells out like, "Shield Boy's here to catch a fucking peak," and then you fight him. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand why we have different scenes.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, what I did was, when there was that windy part, I went to the west, and there's a different cave, rocky outcropping you can go onto, and you see the women having their little hot tub party, but they're getting out of the pool anyways, and they're about to leave. The rock you're on collapses onto them. They all, Ormi and the ladies, run away, and then so Riku's like, well, we are here in this hot spring, and Yuna's like, I know it's Mount Gagazet, and it is like a sacred part of Ronso territory, but why don't we just have a little pool party? And the girls are like, yeah! So they they get down to their bikinis, and then Riku starts perving out on the other girls, comparing their anatomy. She's like, oh, well, I know Yuna shouldn't be embarrassed about all this she's packing, and it's something that seems to happen in, I guess, like these JRPGs sometimes, where whoever's writing these games imagines when women are alone in hot tubs, they really like to talk about each other's breasts a lot.
This is how they pass the Bechdel test, John.
I had a Skype brunch with some women on Sunday, and one of them pointed out as it was ending that We were a bunch of women, and we just spent most of our time talking about war history. Because that's what gals talk about.
That's what ladies do. And then are like, ooh, well, Vanessa, you're really packing a surprise pair there, aren't you?
Well, they didn't talk about their bodies, but they did talk about LeBlancs in our scene that Matt and I got. They were talking about, they were like, how old do you think she is? Is she spicy or seasoned?
Yeah. That was real. And that actually made me laugh a lot, actually. Like, just the two ladies talking about their boss being like, oh, that fucking piece of shit. It made me like them a lot more.
Riku tries to talk about Payne's body and Payne shuts her down. Then they eventually decide to get out of the pool, at which point they the ladies running away left one of their outfits, so you can get an outfit from there. But you do fight Ormy, who says, "Oh, I wasn't scared. I was just preparing for your attack." Yeah, and you fight Ormy, and then that's it. That's how you get your third uniform.
Speaking of people comparing things, I've been thinking about how Vanessa rated all of her co-host friends earlier, and I realized something that is kind of upsetting. Vanessa, I'm the 28 in the 328, aren't I? Yup.
When I was coming up with a number, I was like, maybe I'll say 275, and then I was like, no, Matt will say that he's the 75. I have to come up with something a little bit more obscure.
I figured you out.
And you know what, friends?
Oh my God, we did it.
That's the end of the first part of Chapter 2.
You know what? Listeners, you're welcome. It was a good episode, even without Jim.
Well, I think it missed that. I think Jim would have really liked that hot tub scene.
He probably liked it too much, and that's why he's not here tonight.
Yeah, that's all he played.
Right.
His eyes rolled into the back of his head, and his nose started to bleed.
He kept reloading that save.
So the bullshit minigame corner is this entire episode.
Yeah, we talked about all of them, right? It was all trash.
So many minigames. I did play, I should probably talk about it for 30 seconds. I played Sphere Break. I won the practice games, but then the only other game I could find was like a super difficult one. And I couldn't get past it because you have to like really know how to level up quotas really fast.
Sounds great. Love games where I have to level up quotas.
Like get a combo sequence on them.
I refuse. Hey, John, you said that Chapter 3 was real short, right?
Yeah, but we're finishing Chapter 2 next.
Are we? Because what's left? There's like one... Is there a lot left?
I think it'll be fine.
Okay, all right.
I think it's like it's a couple of locations. It's probably a couple hours. I think we talked about that before.
I don't remember things. It's late.
Next time on Square Roots, we will finish Chapter 2. We are going to invade Chateau LeBlanc. There will be sexy massages.
Oh.
It's the third time I've done that. Stop it.
But before we go, Matt, what are you squarely against?
Oh, I'm roundly for a hot tub scene that I missed, but I'm super into it. What's up?
Yeah, he's going to get on YouTube as soon as this is over, I'm sure.
Our show already did. Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against bullshit minigames. I'm sorry, John. I know that's your thing. I know you have a whole corner, but there's so many. There's so many.
Which one was the worst?
It has to be something in the Calm Lands. Either Sky Slots or Lizard Run. But I didn't do well at Run and Gun either. And I missed the choke. I'm just bad at them. I don't like it. I don't like it when a game makes me do a thing that's not the game.
Like
if you know what I mean.
Bullshit minigames.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I like them. This time, I don't. Matt?
John?
I am... I am roundly for Yuna putting on a concert for no reason and then doing it very poorly.
Yeah, so poorly. So poorly.
La 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 la. I mean, I think that has to seal the decision of whether or not she had planned to put a concert on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Because she's awful.
Apparently, there's more to it that will explain this, so there's more info on that concert to come. But I don't know, like, what was the point of putting on a
fun.
little show for your friends in this? I guess so.
I mean, because brother's a pervert and demands that you fucking dance for him.
We have a Patreon.
It's true.
If you want us to dance
Our
for you,
Vanessa.
Oh.
contribute. That's not what we do.
No, Vanessa,
That's right.
we haven't agreed to the terms.
That's
of
our
that.
own
The
fans.
Patreon
We're
is
gonna
good and great
launch
if
that later
you
this
want
year.
even more content than you're getting already. You can sign up at the $3 level and get all of our bonus shows. The whole back catalog is there. There's like, how many do we have now? What'd you say? 40-something shows with a new show every month just for patrons. And at the $5 level, this is exciting, folks. At the $5 level, you get to biannually vote for what game you want us to play. And Final Fantasy X-2 is a voter's choice. Plus, the best benefit of all, we will read your name at the end of the show.
Now that's like a $10 benefit, right?
No, that is for every single patron, regardless of level. Even if you only want to give $1, we will read your name.
All right, let's start with Hexagon. Jared Collins, Tom. Stu Skeel, a slightly chubby Waka, Stephen Kroc, Matt Jorgensen, Andy Smith, Brady A. Berman, Matthew Casterline, Race Jenkins, Sean Walsh, Mostly Rational Person, Michael Crawford, That One Guy, Armin Hammer, Christian Go, Florian Jonas Kramer, Benjamin Avner, Samu Mitchell, Joseph, MB, Mr. Narparticles, Hi Draco, Robert M. Pullum, Paul Bursch, Hudson Roth, Sling Thing Ping Ringy Dingy, The Mighty Monarch, Chris Ryan, and Isaac Wright.
We'd also like to thank Randy Pierce. Matthew sounds like TJ Miller. Well, I have a new mic now, so maybe not. The Phantom Scofflaws of the Opera. Get good, Nuge. Give me Persona 4 in 2020, or give me Jim's place on the podcast. I agree. Agree to the terms of your demands. Andrew, Grayson, Patrick W. Bears, Miguel Torres, Tavis Nickerson, Tracy Tanoff, Jonathan Smith, Aaron Bachman, Ryan Miller, Mary Queen of Scoffs, Brian Pitt, Aaron Little, Jameson, Galindo, Alexander Jokic, Huxley Iguana, your pal Zochif, Panacotta Flamingo. Sexy Grandma's Boy Toy is Kenny Sloth. Robert T., Vanessa's fourth mom, Andy Best, Chris Benyak, Jonathan Ellsworth, fine, say everyone's name, at least it annoys Matt. Jordan McNeil, Matthew Newland, Mike Bloomberg is Shinra, Ward Childress.
Cyril the Wolf, Reddit is Harold Lauder, Ari Corbivara, Resty Kamada, Scroto Baggins, Mr. Mallard, Andy M., Andres Rivera, Sean, Stephen Paget, Lexa Varial, David Green, Vanessa's true, real, actual mom. That's my mom. Grey Code, Alex Dillard, Devin Sloan, All Alona in the Time of Corona, Citrus C, Rising Hopper, Chef Hazard, Amanda Douglas, Saving Sid, Wonder Swan, Just Still No, Squall Would Be Cloud in a foot race on the beach like in Ergies. Final Fantasy II is the WarioWare of Final Fantasy. Christopher Hines, Adam Zimmerman, G. Bailey, Cowman Mosser, Payne's Secret Dress Sphere can be found at Hot Topic.
Eric Garvey, Ashley T., Mitchell Jarman, Ross Hartley, Chris Wilder, George Brady, Tyler Petty. Cubby Waka is what Ron calls an excellent night out. Jake Dickerson, DJ Ethro, Robert J. Defendi, John's problematic fave brother, Vanessa's mom. Squall would beat Cloud in a fight. 2 Dark Knights, a White Mage, and a pizza place. Cake Ninja. Knopford. Bree Girth. Wash of the Wind. PJ Ends. OMG, what is this game? Joshua Bennett, Andrew Leinart, James Hostetler. It's a Kwame Mario. You gotta change that, dude. Cameron Shoei, The Pen, It Was Mighty Indeed. Metal Gear Solid 1 in 2021. Lyrial of the Claire, Captain Awesome, Justin Ham, Nathan Poirot, Justin Rash, and T Bumpkins.
You can send us an email. You know our email address. It's squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Or come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or you can tweet at us at Square Roots Pod.
And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Lacey Johnson for her awesome cover of Real Emotion. Links to the video and the Lacey Johnson Music YouTube channel are in the show notes.
Such a good cover. Go fucking subscribe.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to this very special gym-free episode for Square Roots. I've been your host. I'm Vanessa.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
I'm Matt.
What can I do for you? 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 I can't hear you. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Far beyond the hazy borders of my heart, I can see a place. It's something like this. Every now and then I don't know what to do. Still I know that I can never go back. All the things I've seen in those hazy dreams can't compare to what I'm seeing now. Everything's so different that it brings me to my knees. And oh, I know the world of real emotion has surrounded me. I won't give into it now. I know that while it is the only way my heart can go, I hear your voice calling out to me. You'll never be alone. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I can't hear you. What can I do for you? 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 I can't hear you. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I can't hear you. And when I find the world of real emotion has surrounded me, and I can't go on, you are there. The moment that I close my eyes, you cover me. We are connected for all of time. I'll never be. And though I know the world of real emotion has surrounded me, I won't give into it now. I know that moment is the only way my heart can go. I hear your voice calling out to me. You'll never be alone. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I can't hear you. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can I just get another
Yeah.
drink? My throat is real dry.
Go for
I
it.
was just thinking about doing the same thing. So let's just take
Goodbye.
a smoocher of a break. Actually, you know what, Vanessa? Why don't you just, you talk.
No.
We'll be back.
Okay. You know what? It's fine.
Yeah, Vanessa solo show.
Yes. I have to edit this, so please, it'll be a fun surprise
Right.
for me.
Listeners, there they go. And here I go. Well, my name's Rappin' Nessa, and I'm here to say I wait for marriage in a very chaste way. I spend my days working on cars. I never go to hookup bars. When I see a lady, what do I say? Why don't we share a firm handshake? Shake it is not for me. I enjoy getting to learn her intellectually. What are her interests? What are her dreams? What are her plots? And what are her schemes? Is she like me? Is she like someone else? Is she unique, just like herself? When I wait for marriage, it's a super fun time. We go to a hike and we go for a climb, but our clothes don't come off in those deep, dark woods. They stay on like good clothing should. Waiting for marriage is the way to be. Waiting for marriage, can't you see? I'm not saying this in a religious way, because if you're not religious, then that's okay. But there's one thing you should know. Not to be a prick. Don't ever touch an unmarried dick. Yo. My name's the other mechanic, and I'm here to say, I don't like to wait. I won't delay. There's a reason that the word Mercedes rhymes with the word ladies. It's because they're both cars. You can get in them and ride really far. Only there's one thing, can't you see? I ride in the Mercedes, but a lady rides me. Yeah, what? I'm going to be honest, they're taking a lot longer than I thought they would. Oh, here comes John. Everyone acts normal. And that's why I think that video games are so important for social change and important cultural conversation. Hi, John. Welcome back.
Were you just making fun of me again?
No.
And then pretending to be talking about something else till I put my headphones back on?
No.
Okay. Because I
No,
trust
I
you,
would never.
and you two are really my friends, and doing that would have been, and then lying about it after especially, would have been a huge betrayal of trust.
It would have been cruel. I promise you, your word or your name did not pass my lips while you were gone.
Great.
So, mission time.
Wait, what were you talking about?
Nothing. I wasn't talking about anything. I was just kidding when I said I'd keep talking.
But you were wrapping up when I put my headphones on, talking about the nature
Oh.
of video games in society, or like
Oh, so you did hear what I was talking
that
about.
was just the end of it when I was putting the headphones back
Yeah,
on.
I was just talking about how video games can be an important piece of art that teaches us more about society and culture.
Well, great. So, friend
Oh.
Vanessa.
Yeah, here comes Matt. Act natural.
Oh, yeah.
And
Video games
That's
can really
why-
be a great source of social change. Isn't that right, Vanessa?
yeah, I absolutely agree. Welcome back, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hey. What the fuck? I like just the look on both of your faces. And Vanessa's is just a still fucking picture. And I still, both of you. Don't trust it. Don't like it. Cutting everything that happened.
Okay, buddy.